right, Julius Corsini is about to start their second run here. So they're just practicing that last little bit before they start their second. Julius Corsini now is starting their second run of 4 minutes to try and score as many points as they can. So it looks like they're still working on this. That mission's really holding them up. The Arc Raiders trying to get that ball to relaunch. They have a lot of tenacity and grit to attempt to get this one, which is good. They're still working on it. We're going to pause the time here to double check. We have an iPad that is frozen. That happens with our equipment sometimes. So teams are relaunching. All right, we have Julius Corsini. It has about 1 minute and 30 seconds left. They're still working on this Arc Raiders mission. The robot disconnected. We're looking at Catherine Finchy here. They have a 4-minute re-strategizing period now. So they're going to spend this, this is their next run. The next 4-minute run happening right now. They're attempting to, they're going to launch it one more time. Looks like they're going for the great extraction, this egg mission. Ooh, so close. Almost made it. They're going to try and launch it again. Lots of points on the board over here. Julius Corsini just finished. A round of applause for Julius Corsini. They just finished their mat. And now Cabot Yerxa is going to be up next. All right, we have one more team in the Codex group that's going to go, and that is Cabot Yerxa. They're working on getting set up. They're demonstrating their Trash Monster machine with their green brick, and then they are going to start the timer for these guys. Catherine Finchie has just shy of a minute left to score as many points as they can. 30 seconds left. Time's out. Catherine Finchie, great job. Really well scored run. Judges are going to confer with points. They're going to score them on their way they play and their good attitude and sportsmanship. And then they'll give a copy to the coach and to the head scorekeeper. Here we're looking at Cabot Yerxa. They have quite an interesting car with some cool things up front. Well done, teams, well done. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Okay, good job. Good job. Cabot Yerxa just accomplished one of the survey spots, and they're going for the second one here. He's trying a 360 turn. Very good, and very good. A second survey spot is completed. Good job, Cabot Yerxa. Now they're working on another mission, so they get back together. You can see that in between runs, they're building on their robot. They're looking at each other, making sure that they know who's going to run. Oh. Good job. Good job, Cabot Yerxa. We'll count that cave mission for them. Well done. So now they're working on this next mission over here. Already gotten the eggs off of the nest, and so now they're working on this power shift, which is a pretty tricky one. They have to push that solar array up to the next square to a new dig site. Yep, Cabot Yerxa has a 4-minute re-strategizing period where their coach can come in and talk to them, and they can work as a team. They can practice on the board during this time if they want, but no points are awarded. On the other side, we have Della Lindley getting ready to compete, so we'll change that up. So on mat 1, we have Della Lindley is getting ready. Their coders are going to demonstrate that their DNA decode machine works and award them some points for that before their time begins. So they're taking their last minutes to make sure that they're all set and ready to go. Back over on mat number 2 with with Cabot Yerxa, we have the team is still re-strategizing. They have about another 2.5 minutes to re-strategize. So the robots you see moving on the mat right now are just practicing, iterating that code, seeing if they're getting it perfect. Every time a robot is launched, it's slightly different than it was the last time based on the robot's placement. There could be slight imperfections in the mat, little bumps that the robot has to drive over. So that's some constraints of our current equipment, as well as the environment, which in the real world we deal with that as well. Equipment issues or restraints on the type of technology that we have at the time that we're working, as well as some unforeseen, perhaps, environmental differences, which could be the weather or a different area that we're working our robot in. Could change the outcome of our code or how our robot functions, just like in the real world. Cabot Yerxa is still about 1 minute and 45 seconds until their next run. So they're still just practicing, working together, working with their coach. All right, Catherine Finchie has about 30 seconds left in their re-strategizing period. Sorry, not Catherine Finchie. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Cabot Yerxa over here. And then they're going to go into their last 4-minute run. They look very organized as they're strategizing. Here goes Cabot Yerxa. They're resetting now. Their 4 minutes are starting. They are going to attempt to score even more points on their board. And we can go through a couple of the missions that they've completed so far, as well as looking at what they're going for next. So they've already completed the Lost Signal, which is the cave mission where they have to work on the light. They've also completed the eggs off the mat. Those are both worth 30 points. Big point values there. Now it looks like they're working on this power shift, and this might be the first time I get to see this complete. Ooh, just slightly off, so close. They're going to try it again. They're talking to each other, being very positive and encouraging to one another. All right, over here on mat number 1, we have Della Lindley, and we're restarting the time. We had a slight change up. New marks, get set, and go. Here we go. Della Lindley is off. Looks like the first mission they're working towards is this cave mission where they have to, oh, nope, I'm wrong. Oh, no, I'm right. The cave mission, turning that light on and off, and okay. Go ahead, it's okay. Make sure you finish your code before you pick up your bot, okay? They're working on the egg mission right now. Well done. And they're going to bring their eggs back to their launch area. I like that Della Lindley has a tracker page to keep track of what missions they've completed as a whole team. That's kind of a great idea. Keep them organized and in good communication during the heat of the moment, which can be very exciting. Cabot Yerkes over here has just completed their run. Well done. Round of applause, Cabot Yerkes. Well done. Judges are conferring on how they did. We love that they're so excited. All right, our next team over here on mat number 2 is Sunny Sands. Sunny Sands is getting ready on mat number 2. Over here on mat number 1, we have about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Reminder that teams are working completely independently. We have judges saying that's not quite on there. They're going to go for it again. They're going to pull it back and try it one more time. We have taking their bricks to the DNA decode machine. Very good. That's a point. They brought their scientist and their bricks to the machine. Now they're going to process their bricks through the machine. So they have yet another program, another computer. To come back to that part of the mission. They're going to launch another one, it looks like, using their time really efficiently there. Well done. That's some points. Now they're going to leave that solar panel there. Oh, leave it there. Yep, they'll leave it there. And judges will have to look and see if that's perfectly within the square or slightly off. And then move out of the way because you're in the live stream. There you go. All right, Cat City Elementary is setting up and they're about ready to start their mission. They have, yep, they've started. They have about 3 minutes left in their first round. All right, Della Lindley's over here in a re-strategizing period. Coaches are working with their teams to see which points they left on the board and which ones they can continue working on. Our robotics events at PSUSD start at 3rd grade, though most of our competitors here in the building are 4th and 5th graders. And they will continue robotics in the middle school level with even more challenging competitions. So this is just gearing them up to be able to start at the middle school level. Okay, Cat City Elementary is attempting to launch that boulder. Cat City Elementary's got about 30 seconds left. They're still working on scoring points. I love their car. They've got some seats for some passengers even. Good job. There's points for a survey spot they completed. And he's still going. Oh my goodness. That's very amazing code. And another survey spot was completed over here. Very good. 2 survey spots in 1 code. That's amazing. Good coding. Time is up. Congratulations, Cat City Elementary. Very good job. So not quite done yet. They have a re-strategizing period and more time on the mat. So they'll work with their coach together to see which missions they still want to work on. All these noises we hear is Della Lindley working in their DNA machine. So for that DNA machine, each one of those bricks does a different code. And for that one, they had teams program a different sound for each. Good job. And they completed that next survey spot. Della Lindley just completed a second survey spot. So they're working on a mission from the other side now. Good, and that's the third survey spot they just completed. Well done, Della Lindley. 3 survey spots. If teams complete all 3 survey spots, they get an additional bonus of 15 points. But that one in the behind the pyramids, a really tricky spot to reach for teams. It takes quite a bit of good coding to get back there. They also have some other elements that they have to contend with. Flags and bridges, pyramids, just like in the field. Ooh, they almost are trying to attempt this bridge mission. This is a really tough mission. They got to cross the bridge from one side to the other. They have about 2 minutes left. They're working together to figure out what makes the most sense. Cat City Elementary has about a minute left before they start their second run. So they're working together to make a decision on which missions make the most sense in the next 4 minutes to attempt. There are 8 missions total, and so far we've seen most of the teams complete a few of the missions, and a couple of these missions are still eluding all the teams. I have yet to see a team make it across the bridge, although it looks like Della Lindley is working hard to do that right now. That's a really tricky mission. The cave mission is another pretty tricky one, where they have to get to the cave and turn a light on and off inside the cave. You just go right out here and to the left. Mm-hmm. All right, Cat City Elementary is going to go for their second run. So they're setting up now to attempt their second run. And he's going to start the 4 minutes for the second run for Cat City Elementary right now. Here they go. So now they're attempting the next set of points. And it looks like they're driving their scientist to the lab. So well done. Points for that. And now they're going to process the DNA into the lab. tough to hear on the Mat 2 side of things. I think that one made a noise there. Cat City Elementary just completed their DNA code machine where they process that ancient DNA in our storyline here. So now their other robot's going to launch. They're working really well together to talk, make sure that light on, light off. Very good. Well done. That's that cave mission. Good job. Points there. They're going to retrieve their robot and launch another mission. Well done, Cat City Elementary. Got a minute left in their run. The girls over here are launching again. Cat City Elementary is working towards their another survey spot. All right, we have Sunny Sands coming up here in the next on mat number 1, getting ready. Very good. Round of applause for Cathedral City Elementary for their awesome work on the mat today. Judges are going to confer with each other, make sure that they have the same point totals. All right. Sunny Sands just got started. They're going to start with a very challenging mission, which is this power shift mission. They did get some points for that, and here they go trying to push the eggs off now. Ooh, they got 2 of the eggs off. The question is whether they're going to attempt the 3rd egg. All right. Next team over here on the mat is Rio Vista. They're going to work. They're getting themselves ready, going to check their machine, the DNA machine, to make sure that works and get all set up. Okay, with the judges and start their time. Back over here on mat number 1, Sunny Sands is still working for that last egg. So in their first code, it pushed off 2 of the eggs, but didn't quite make it to the 3rd egg. So here it goes for the 3rd egg, and that's points. That is 10 points, so that's why they had to redo that mission to make sure they got all of those eggs off. Inside of the eggs is that imaginary DNA sample that they're going to process into the DNA lab. So right now he's working on getting that into his transport vehicle. And in the meantime, we have an Arc Raiders machine who just got points by deterring our raider, the guy who's looting the dig site. So points for that. That's a good one. That's 30 points for the Arc Raiders. Excuse me, 35 points for Arc Raiders. Now we have this DNA samples heading to the lab. Very good. And they're in the lab, and now they're going to process them through. Seeing if we hear them process through. Each brick should make a different sound. Making sure that their volume is up so that we can hear their code, all these nuanced pieces. Now, oh, I'm hearing these noises. Very good. Sunny Sands processed through the DNA. All the DNA was processed through. That's 10 points for each brick that they can process, each lab brick that they can process. And you can see now they're using a meter stick or a yardstick on the centimeter side to see how far their robot needs to travel to get to that cave mission. And they can code precisely based on distance. So that's why they're pulling that meter stick out to see how far they have to go. And on, off, very good. Well done. Perfectly done for the cave mission, and he's backing away. Very good. He's still driving, picking up his bot. Very good. Sunny Sands has a re-strategizing period where they can talk to their teammates and to their coach. They have 4 minutes to do that before they have another 4 minutes to score even more points. Judges will confer with each other, make sure we're on the same page at this point. Heading over to this mat, we have Rio Vista up on the mat, working towards still working on the survey spot. That precision is very challenging, that they have to start their robot at the exact same spot each time and making sure that their code will launch the exact same way each time, which is pretty tricky. Very good. They're getting that 360. Well done. Good job. One of the survey spots is complete. Rio Vista, well done. I also see they have some measuring devices out, which is great. Looks like now they're going towards this Arc Raiders Boulder mission. Well done. Perfectly done on that first attempt. Good job, Rio Vista. So 35 points for that mission to knock the ball off of the machine, which they have just completed. Looks like they're lining up their robot to do another survey spot. They're going to pull one back. Okay. Time is up for Rio Vista. Well done. Now they have a re-strategizing period where they can talk to their coach and talk together again to see which missions might be worth going for in the second 4 minutes. Go check in with what's happening over here. We have on mat number 1. Good. We have Sunny Sands is in there, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in their second run. So they're working. He's using his measuring stick. His robot's inching over there. Oh, so close. This is a very hard mission that Sunny Sands, I think the hardest of all of them, that Sunny Sands is attempting to cross over this bridge. Very tricky. They have to have perfect spacing on where they start their robot and that the robot runs that entire sequence of code without any flaws to make it over the narrow entrance of that bridge. It's a very challenging mission. All right, Rio Vista's over here. They have about 30 seconds left. They're going for the most challenging mission on the board. Just a tiny bit off. They still have time for another try. They're working for it. Good job, buddy. Love it. We have this great positive talk happening over here, Rio Vista, that everyone's holding their breath, seeing if we can get over the bridge. Oh, almost. Do we have time to launch it one more time? time's up. Very good. Let's give a huge round of applause. Rio Vista scored a lot of points on the board. Oh. Oh, that was a strategizing. So you got to help me. Okay. I was confusing the whole team there. That was the re-strategizing period. Now they're ready to launch and go for their next points. I was thinking they were scoring points that whole time. Well, I'm happy for them now that they were practicing. Okay, now they're actually going for points here. So he's readjusted his code. We'll applause when he gets over this bridge. Here he goes. Here he goes. Can it make it? Oh, we're going to try it again. The kids are excited. They're going to try it one more time. He's very close. They're working together to change that code, just slightly iterate that code. These skills of doing and coming back and doing again and coming back and doing again are essential skills for success in life. So we're so excited to see kids doing it. They're going to come back again, staying positive. They're still working on that bridge mission. Loving that energy over here. Let's see what we've got going on the other side of the field. We have Two Bunch Palms Elementary School is coming up. Sunny Sands just finished. They did a wonderful run. A little round of applause for Sunny Sands. They did very good. Now we have Two Bunch Palms coming up on the board on mission mat number 1. They are looking to see that their trash monster machine works, and they're communicating with their judges that they're ready to go, and they're about to launch over here. Two Bunch Palms. They're waiting for their judging sheets. Just a couple details. Keeping score is important. Coming back over here to Rio Vista. They are in the midst of scoring points over here. We have parents who are watching on the edge of their seats as the kids are working together so hard. It's really great to see this great communication, teamwork, positive energy, and perseverance as they attempt these very challenging missions. Yes. That bridge mission is very challenging, that they have to get over that very narrow entrance. Looks like we got a mission on the other side. They're going to try that one again. Wow, very good. Rio Vista crossed the bridge after so much iteration and attempts. Good job. Points for that one. The next spot is on the board. This robot is attempting to get into the cave. They have about a minute left, so their light's going to turn on. They're still trying to get their light on and off. They're able to get to the cave, but their light isn't working quite yet. Their light isn't working quite yet, so they're going to keep working on that side of the field. They have about 25 seconds left. They're going for one mission that we haven't seen yet, which is mission 8, called, well, I can't remember the name of that, mission 8, but it is where they race against time, thank you, Judge, where they have to get their bot to the final spot and shout. 2, 1, and time is up. Oh, so tight, but they accomplished so many points. Judges are going to work together and judge them for their good sportsmanship before we give them their final score. We're really proud of Rio Vista. Round of applause, Rio Vista. Now we're looking at 2 bunch palms over here. They're working on this egg mission now, attempting to push these eggs off the board. Going to reset on this side. We're watching 2 bunch palms here on the mat, working together as a team, attempting to get these eggs off the field. The judge is going to hand them back their robot to give them another shot at it. Have about 45 seconds. They're going to talk together, re-strategize, decide what makes most sense to go for next. So they have 4 minutes to do that before their next 4 minutes. While we have a lull and they're re-strategizing, we'll talk about some of these other competitions that the students are competing in today. While they don't have anything to do with our trophies on the side, they are good practice. We have 2 other challenges. We have a building challenge and a coding on demand challenge. And the students that are coming from this room over here have just finished coding. That one. But you can flip that order if needed or whatever you need. All right, so the coding challenge is where students need to code their robot to complete a slalom course. And they'll use a stopwatch to go as fast as they can. So some students choose to go at an angle, and some students choose to make a right-hand turn to try and complete that slalom course. We just finished watching the Olympics, so we kind of understand the idea of a slalom, racing between different flags. So that's the coding challenge taking place behind us over here in this room. Students are coming just from that. There's also a building challenge. In the building challenge, students have to build the tallest tower they possibly can that can hold a book, a heavy book. It's actually an old math textbook. We used to use those back in the day. Parents know about math textbooks. So the book is will be tested on their tall towers over on in the room in front of me, and that's what students are working on over there. So when they're not on the mat, they are competing in other activities and practicing their coding and building skills with Lego. And as we already mentioned, students start Lego Robotics in 3rd grade at all of our elementary school sites and continue all the way through high school. So we have students in middle school who leave here, graduate here, will go on to middle school robotics, and then continue on in high school robotics for even more difficult competitions. So this is just the beginning of students coding and trying to accomplish missions on a mat. We use Lego for both our middle school and high school robotics competitions currently. So this programming language that students are using today will take them through middle school and high school, as well as the equipment. They'll be using similar Lego equipment to build the next version of robots when they get to middle school. All of our middle schools have a program, robotics program, so no matter where students end up, they will be able to join robotics at the middle school level. Very cool, very special. All right, Two Bunch Palms has about 25 seconds remaining before they will try their second round of scoring points. So they're getting set. Their coach is working closely with them to help them do their very best. Now, coaches aren't supposed to coach when the students are doing their run. That's part of the Lego rules, is that students need to be able to work independently with support of a coach, but not listening to the coaches every single move at every single second. The coach steps away, and even though it's very difficult to keep our mouth quiet and not to tell students exactly what to do, we want students thinking that through for themselves and with their team. So coaches will set them up to be ready so that they can work independently during their 4-minute run, which is starting right now for Two Bunch Palms. So here they go. They're going to pull that one back and try again. Looks like they have a strategy to run together. They have a fun man, like walking a plank on their robot. I love that. He looks very interesting up there. It's a Lego figure, either a little lady Lego figure or a little gentleman Lego figure. Based on the coders are two ladies. I'm guessing it's a lady. And they've got a lady walking the plank. On the other side of the mat, they're still working towards those eggs, I believe. Students over here are testing their green brick to see that the machine works. Very good, and we could see that it opened and closed and it played a little noise in the background. That noise is pretty quiet, but we can hear it. Okay, and now students are about ready to start their 4 minutes over here. We hear some great confident talk from coach. He's telling them, I'm not going to be able to help you when you're on the mat. You can do this. 3, 2, 1, and they're off. They're going to restart. This is Landau. Okay. This is Landau over here. Landau Elementary on mat number 2. We have coders Brody, Jacelyn, Josie, Efrain, Efego, and Brenadel. I might have said their names wrong. I hope I didn't, but I could have mispronounced. People do that with my name all the time. Oh, and they're pulling that machine. Very interesting technique here. They're going to try it again. They're going to reset and try it again. Good job. Good job. Oh, it's okay. Let it run. Oh, you could push the eggs off. It's okay. They're going to reset and try again. They're looking at trying to get 2 missions for the price of 1 here. They're trying to get their survey power shift as well as their egg mission. All right, we're down to the last minute with Two Bunch Palms. And we see coach is proud of her students. They're feeling a little bit frustrated as they are really working hard to get that mission. Have about 15 seconds left. Two Bunch Palms is working, trying to score their last points. Great job, Two Bunch Palms. A little round of applause for them. They did very well. Coach worked them through a tough season. They had a lot of adversity in their squad, so it was great that they came to compete. And not a bad score either. They did pretty well today. We're going to look at the next team on the mat is Bella Vista, coming all the way from Desert Hot Springs. They're going to get set up on the mat with their set of judges. And let's come back over here and see how my Landau Elementary is doing. Still working on this power shift mission. Ooh, it's looking good. It's looking promising. Perfectly done. Well done. Perfectly done. Got that power shift solar panel in the new location. I love that. Other missions that they've accomplished, they've gotten the eggs off the mat, so that's that great extraction. And they've also done their DNA lab is what they've also accomplished so far. So now they're working with their coach, Coach Cordero, helping them to decide what makes most sense to work on next in the next 4-minute period. So they have a 4-minute re-strategizing period where they can work with their coach, talk to their teammates, make decisions on what makes the most sense. On the other side of the mat, we have Bella Vista getting ready to launch. And as we're waiting, we can talk through these missions again. There's 8 missions on the board. Some of them are more difficult than others. We have the bridge mission, which is called a sticky situation. That mission where they have to cross the bridge is probably one of the most challenging missions on the mat. It takes a lot of coordination to get all the way to the far side of the mat and cross the board, that very narrow bridge. We've only had a couple of teams accomplish that one so far. It's a very tricky one. Next on the list, mission number 2 is the cave mission. We called it the lost signal, where teams have to arrive at the cave and turn on a light source on their robot. This mission is tricky because it requires 2 sets of coders with a driving coder and a light coder. So 2 sets of coders for the cave mission that is required. Mission What's going on? Mission number 3 is the great extraction, where they have to push the colored eggs off of the mat, and inside each colored egg is a DNA sample of an ancient species, keeping connected with our theme of archaeology. So that's mission 3. Mission number 4 is the Arc Raiders. This is where a thief has been spotted near the dig site, and they will use a mechanism to deter him from stealing any of these precious artifacts. the teams have to knock that boulder off of the defense machine in order to score points. So there they go. They're demonstrating their machine. It's all working. Everything is good. They have a coder ready to go back there. I think one of the hardest parts with Lego Robotics for coaches is seeing their teams score points without coaching them every single second. Coaches are not allowed to talk to teams once the time is started. They're really supposed to allow teams to work autonomously by themselves and solve those problems independently. Now they can come back in during the 4-minute re-strategizing period and work with their team if their team needs that help. But during the run, you'll see that teams will work independently, completely apart from their coach. Over here, Landau has about 10 seconds more of talk time before they start working in the next 4 minutes. Good communication from coach, letting them work autonomously. So now I'll quiet my voice. They're going to get started with their 4 minutes. On your mark, get set, and go. 4 more minutes for Landau to attempt to score points. They're doing a great job. He's going to pull that robot back. We have Bella Vista on mat number 1 attempting a very challenging mission called, oh, amazing, well done. They perfectly put that solar array into the new dig site boundary. So that is worth even a bonus of 35 total points. 25 points for getting it there and 35 for being absolutely perfect, getting it inside of the new survey boundary. So well done, Bella Vista. Points on that one. All right, they're going for, Bella Vista is going to deliver their scientists and the DNA samples to the lab. So points for that. Very well done. And now they're going to process their DNA through the lab. All right, here we go. So now we had a little bit of technical difficulties with Bella Vista. Their program stopped working for a minute. Their iPad was frozen, and that happens with our equipment even in the field, right? We have unforeseen. Very good. So they just got points for accomplishing a cave mission, which is where they had to arrive, turn on a light, turn off a light, and leave the cave entrance. So 35 points that they just scored for that one. Now he's refashioning his robot to attempt the mission a little further back on the field called Arc Raiders. And this is where the... Oh, very good. On the other side of the field, I wasn't even watching, but we were seeing it on the live stream there. They were attempting to and successfully completed one of the survey stops, and that is 15 points for that 360 turn. Here they go. Ooh, he's going to run it one more time. He's going to pull it back. He's going to run it one more time. It's about 10 seconds before his re-strategizing period. Let's see if he can get this off. Okay, they have a re-strategizing period to talk with their coach. They did have some technical difficulties in the beginning, so he's just getting really ready. Now, they can practice on the mat during this re-strategizing period as much as they want, but points aren't counted until we have another start time. So they have about 3 minutes, 45 seconds to talk to coach and work together to figure out how to score more points. All right, we have Kauia getting ready on mat number 2. They come with clipboards and even some exact positioning for their robots. One of the things that's tricky about our robots and the programs that we have to launch them from the same spot every time. And that takes a lot of precision and patience as teams go. So here we are. Kauia is starting their run. Looks like they're starting with this survey, the power shift mission. That is some points right there. They did get it slightly within the space, so they got 35 points, or excuse me, 25 points for that. And they've got 2 out of the 3 eggs. Now the question is whether they're going to go for this last egg. They're going to leave 1 egg on the mat right now. Oh, he's going for it, actually. I can see that this mission is going to go up and try and capture that last egg. Each of those eggs are worth 10 points if they can push them off the field. So he's running the code right from the beginning. There he goes. Now he's got it off successfully. He and she's going to pull that egg back, disassemble the robot a little bit, and they're going to go for the next mission. She's pulling those eggs, the Legos, and passing those Legos to her partner, who's going to fashion them on his robot and now take them to the DNA lab where they're going to try and process them through the machine. So he's looking for that code in all of his series, lining up his robot. They have other tools available to them, paper, notes, rulers. Students are working to be very precise. He's launching that machine. Let's check back in with Bella Vista over here. They have about a minute left of re-strategizing. I can see that the coach and teammates are working together to make sure that their equipment is ready to go. They can score the most points. So far, Bella Vista has done 1 of the survey spots for 15 points. They've pushed the eggs off the field for 30 points. They've done the cave mission, the lost signal, where they've lit up the cave for 30 points. They've also processed a couple of bricks through the DNA lab, and it looks like they're working on that in this intermission, trying to make sure. The DNA lab, they've gotten those points. And they've also gotten the power shift with total, even perfect power shift movement of that solar panel. Pushed the array up to the other side of the mat perfectly within the square for a total of 35 points. They have about 5 seconds left to re-strategize before they're going to start up again and even go for even more points in the second round. Kauai Elementary is measuring their robot and launching. I think they're going for the cave mission. Very close. He's working on. Oh. Let's see if it gets this. This is the last attempt. Is it going to go on? I didn't see the light go on and off. They were very close. They were able to get round of applause for Kauai there. Very good. Now they're going to work together to re-strategize. They have 4 minutes to talk to their coach, figure out the problem in that code, and go for it again. All right, we're trying to get over the bridge here. This is a very difficult mission. It's looking very good so far. We haven't had many teams accomplish it. Very good. Bella Vista across the bridge. Lots of points for that very challenging mission. That takes a lot of skill and a lot of iteration on the part of the coders and builders to build a really strong machine. Oh, they had a little confusion there to working together. Only one robot can move on the field at a time. So they had a little confusion. They're going to reset. They have about a little more than a minute left. They still have a little time here. Bella Vista is still scoring points. They're attempting. Very good. Okay, very good. Picking up that robot. More points for the Survey the Dig, and this next robot's running. They're attempting Mission 8. Very good, where they accomplish that. Now, Mission 8, their robot is going to stay there at the final meeting spot. And their other robot is attempting to meet them. Teams have done a great job. Bella Vista has scored a lot of points. They have a lot of time. They're making their way over. They're trying to get their second robot to the final spot. Judges, what do you say? Okay, they gave it to them. Very good. And their mission is done. So they finished with 17 seconds on the clock. Well done, Bella Vista. Lots of points scored there. They smile cute at the judges for making sure that they got those last points in the bank. They did have some challenges at the beginning of their run, so it was really great that they persevered through that difficult beginning where they had some equipment error. They're going to clean up their space, and the next team is going to come up. That would be Cielo Vista. A minute left for Kauai with the team, the coach, to re-strategize and decide what makes the most sense to go for in the next 4 minutes. Yeah. All right. Kauai's ready with their last 4 minutes here to attempt to score even more points. Kind of get a rundown of what they've scored so far. They've gotten the eggs off the board, the great extraction, pushing the eggs off the board. That's for 30 points. They've also done one of the dig spots for 15 points. Their DNA lab has processed the egg DNA, so they've gotten points for that one. And they've shifted the solar panel up to the top. Looks like they're going for another survey spot here. 360, very good, very good. Survey spot number 2, the black survey spot, has been completed. Well done. They're working on, I think, the cave mission. This is one that's hung them up a little bit. Judge, did the light go on and off? I didn't see it there. Technical difficulties. This happens in the field. There we go. Now it looks like their robot is fully functioning and they're going to try this mission again. Good work on the part of the programmers, thinking fast and making quick adjustments. Good job. Good. Yes. Good job. Well done. Cave mission complete. Kauai just got points for the cave mission. That's that lost signal. And they're working on that last survey spot. Ooh, try that one more time. We're going to look at that one more time. Those flags can really hang up our teams. It's a very challenging thing when it comes to those survey spots. Now, if they drive over the flags, that's okay, but they can get hung up. So he just adjusted it. He's going to adjust it slightly more over to the left. He's going to move it just a little bit more over and see if we can get that full circle for the extra bonus points. Close to the spot. Ooh. There he goes. Very good. Points for the survey spot. Way to stick with it, Kauai. Now they're going to attempt the next mission. They're going to launch from the same launch area. So both teams are working out of the same launch area, which is allowed. The only rule is they have to start in the launch area. This guy, I think, is attempting one of the most challenging missions, which is the bridge. He's looking very successful. Oh, can he make it? Oh, can we try it one more time? One more time. Oh, and they're working on mission 8. Very good. They've gotten 1 for mission 8. Yeah, so 20 points if they can get both of their bots there before time is up. Easy points, but tricky with the time. Very good, with 12 seconds remaining. They finished. Good job, Kauai. A round of applause for Kauai. Amazing. They got all their missions done with 12 seconds remaining on the clock for that last mission. They're going to clean up, and we're going to look over here at Cielo Vista, see what's happening with this team. So far, Cielo Vista has crossed the bridge, one of our most challenging missions, and right there they got the egg mission. Well done. Yeah, I saw.
Got like 85%, but
Cielo Vista has about 10 seconds, a strong 10 seconds to attempt one more mission. Let's see if they can run one, get one off. Here they go. This will be the last one that will count before they have a re-strategizing period. Robots making it. Okay, they're going to have a re-strategize period with their coach to look at their programs. Teams can practice on the mat, but points scored won't earn until they have another 4 minutes. All right, we have about 2 minutes, just under 3 minutes left for Cielo Vista to score as many points as they can. They're working hard. Hardest part for coaches, I think, is not coaching every step of the way, allowing our students to think autonomously in the moment. It's hard when we want our students to do the best and they're looking to us for guidance, but they're also learning confidence to be able to do it for themselves. Very good. Points for that survey spot. Well done. Teams have about a minute and 30 seconds left. They're working for that final survey spot, I believe, right there. And well done. Points for that survey spot. Looking at the judges. Yeah, good job. There was a little confusion on whether or not that was a close call, but I think that those judges decided that that was good. About 1 minute left, a little over 1 minute left with Cielo Vista. There we go. Mission 8 complete. They're trying to finish off that mission 8 where they have to end. They have to park their robots in the spot. They're going for that second robot to get up there. And time is a tiebreaker, so they're going as fast as they can. Very good. All right, 46 seconds remaining on the time. Well done, Cielo Vista. Very good. Okay, we're going to rotate. Our last competitive team, which is Vista Del Monte, is going to come up on the board. Vista Del Monte, we're ready to go. It's tough to be last. All eyes will be on Vista Del Monte as they work to get as many points as they can. So Cielo Vista is going to clean up their space. Vista Del Monte is going to come in. Our other teams will start staging for awards. So if you can hear my voice, other teams, other coaches, you can start staging yourselves in this area, getting ready for awards, watching our last competitive team have their full 12 minutes, 4 minutes on the mat, 4-minute break, 4 minutes on the mat, to score as many points as they can. That's Vista Del Monte. And in the meantime, our teams will get ready for award announcements. It's been a very, very competitive day. Lots of great spirits, energy, and excitement. So, coaches, check your equipment, please. It seems like we have one Lego brain hub that has gotten misplaced. We have one team missing a Lego hub. So just double check that you didn't accidentally pick it up in the midst of all the chaos. All of your hubs are with your machines, and you don't have an extra one. Found the hub. All right, so we have, perfect. We have Vista Del Monte is on the mat, and they are scoring points as we speak. So we're going to check in with them and watch. Doing some testing at the same time. Whoops, not quite far enough to get to the, looks like he's working towards the cave. So that's great. Something different I see here in Vista Del Monte is that their light source is facing sideways. That's very strategic to get the light to be shining in the cave, which is the mission. So they had to reset that one because 2 robots were on the field at the same time. So they're going again. We have this cave mission. They have to get to the cave, shine that light. Ooh, coach or judge, what do you say? A little too far, he says. A little too far. He's bringing it back. They're going at this cave mission again. Judge, no, they need to go a little bit closer, he says. It's not quite close enough. So we have another team that's attempting here. Going to kind of watch what they're doing. Oh, he's going to pick it up and try again. To say, I don't know who that is, but yeah, can you just tell her to like maybe come here by close by this thing area is going to be good. Still working Vista Del Monte, coordinating with each other. He's launching his code again. It's the tricky part about robotics is that that code depends on a lot of factors. Depends on the mat, the starting position, making sure that you're running your robot from the exact same spot each time. And the hardest part, I think, for coaches is not to coach every step of the way. They're really allowing teams to be autonomous. Here they go, and they're launching, trying to attempt to get over the bridge. Very good. Well done. That's a very challenging mission, Vista Del Monte. I love the robot they have there. It looks like they have some skis on the bottom that maybe helped make that bridge transition a little more smooth. That was very ingenious build. Very interesting when teams change up the build. Hello. The new part about LEGO Robotics, different than our previous robotics program, is that teams really have to build their robot to suit the mission. So they can change up the build between the runs and during the runs. And each team's robot looks just a little bit different, which makes it even more unique. Teams will use this practice when they go on to middle school, and they use their middle school robotics are also built by hand using LEGO product to accomplish similar missions. This year's theme for elementary and middle school is archaeology. So in the midst of robotics, we've learned about different jobs and different the science behind archaeology and preserving the past. Vista Del Monte is working with their coach in a re-strategizing period, so they have about 2.5 minutes left of that period. Our other teams are coming into the arena, and we're going to make space for them. Making sure that their parents are also involved with moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and aunties and friends and neighbors, picking students up late from robotics practice on their day, making sure that they're ready to go, that they're getting good sleep, and that they're working well with their team, all the things that need to be done in order for them to be successful with their coaches. All right. Vista Del Monte is about ready to start their last 4-minute run to score as many points as they can. And no pressure, we're all watching on the big screen, watching them score. So they're going to get ready to start the last 4 minutes. Are we ready? Back. Okay, and here they go. They're working through that DNA machine. They're going to reset, and the last 4 minutes section is going to start in 3, 2, 1, and time is starting now. Here we go, and teams are off. So they're going to continue running code. Let's see what they can do, what they're working on here. Going to restart that one. Tricky part of these machines is that they need to start in the exact same place every single time in order to be accurate. That code is set securely for a specific spot on the field. So very good. Points for arriving at the DNA lab. Points for processing the yellow DNA. Very good. Points for processing the blue DNA. Very good. And I think he's going to attempt one more color. Very good. Vista Del Monte got all 3 DNA lab samples.
But they didn't do red. It was green. So they didn't do red. Okay.
All right. Working on the next mission. This is the power shift. This is a very tricky one. They have to push that solar panel from one dig site to the other, attempting to get as close to perfectly in the square as possible. Looks like he's gonna pull it back and try it again. He wants to get perfectly in the square. If teams get to the square and touch the square, they get 25 points. If teams are perfect, they get an additional 10 points for 35 points. So this team, Vista Del Monte, their score is high. They want all points possible on the board. So it looks successful so far. We'll see if he can drop it in the right spot. Ooh, he does get 25 points. We're gonna see, he's gonna pull it back and try one more time. He wants that 10 bonus points, this coding team. They want the 10 bonus. So they're gonna attempt one more time. Now, if it's not perfect, they can still go with the 25. And that's 25 points. Are they going to keep it there? Yes, he's going to decide to keep it. Okay, very good. So he's got the 25 points. Well done. Let's see what next mission they try. It's a lot of pressure these teams have. They have plenty of time left to get more points, but all the kids know that working under time pressure is different than coding when the timer is not going. And so that adds an element to the competition that teams are getting used to. They almost got the arc raiders. They're going to pull that bot back and try it again. And just as we're finishing up, you remember that teams competed in 2 other competitions today, differently scored. They were kind of extra activities, a coding challenge and a building challenge. And we'll announce the high scores for those teams that competed in those challenges. The building challenge was one that they had to build a tall tower that could support a heavy book. So an engineering challenge there, and we'll see how teams ended up doing. That's a fun Lego activity to do at home as well. Build a tall tower that can support something heavy. Requires a lot of good engineering skills. And our second challenge was a coding challenge where teams had to attempt to go through a slalom course as quickly as possible, with the fastest teams competing that course. Very good, very good. Claps for Vista Del Monte. They did really well. Round of applause for all the teams. And we can get my pseudo DJ to put on a couple of tunes while we tally up the final scores. All right, so let's look at that. It was not on.